Howdy folks, it's Meandering Mike in the Man Cave of Madness. We are playing Marengo from the Napoleon at War SPI quadra game. We're going to talk quickly about how to play, because we've covered this system before, but we'll talk about it a little bit and some of the issues with the specific rules with this game. And then I think we'll do the first turn. Let's take a look down here. Here are the Austrian forces arrayed in the town here. Now, this is the town of Marengo that the battle is named after. I don't remember if this is the town of Ulm or what, but there's a large moat and there's this river, and the Austrians are attacking out, but they're kind of bottled up. There's a bridge here and a bridge here, and they're coming out. The Napoleon's forces were sort of caught by surprise, though. It was a morning attack, and the Austrians came streaming out, and the French had to respond quickly and try to slow them down, and eventually they retreated, and Napoleon has a lot of reinforcements coming, if you see here on the turn track there. There are turn 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. They get reinforcements, and those come on mostly up there at these are trails, not actual roads. Some come on way up in this corner, some come on here, and the last dudes come on there, I think. But the French retreat a bit and then try to counterattack. So we'll talk about those special rules here. So, back in a sec. So first, a quick review of the standard rules. This is a game with sticky zones of control. If you enter a zone of control, you move next unit, you must stop. You may not leave a zone of control if you start in one. So if you're next to guys, at the beginning of your turn, you must stay and fight. You must fight everyone that you're adjacent to, and everyone that's adjacent to an enemy must attack. Artillery may attack optionally at 2x range, but if they're adjacent, they must attack. So looking at the counters here, we'll look at this here. The first number is combat strength. The second is movement allowance. There's 3 different symbols: infantry, cavalry, and artillery. There is no combined arm rules in this game, but I do recommend doing optionally at some point. The Napoleon's last battle quads had one where if you're attacking in one attack, any given attack that has all 3 of the 3 combined arm type, you get one shift in your favor. All right, so the combat is odds-based. There's the combat results table. You round down in the favor of the defender. So if you have 7 points attacking 4, you do not have enough for a 2-to-1. It's a 1-to-1. You need 8 to attack 4 to get a 2-to-1. Defender retreats. Attacker retreats. You may not retreat through a zone of control. There are defender eliminates and attacker eliminates. Exchanges. The defender is eliminated. The attacker must lose an equal or greater printed value. So if you're in a town like Marengo or Pietrobuono, those are 2 important towns here, you're doubled on your strength, but if the unit is lost, the attacker only has to, on an exchange, match the printed value of the loss that they take, but they have to lose equal or more. So for example, if you're attacking with a 7 strength infantry and say a 1 strength artillery, and they're attacking some 2 strength unit, did I say artillery? It's a 1 strength cavalry. 8 versus 2 is a 4-to-1. If you got an exchange, you'd have to lose the 7 strength unit because the 1 would not be enough to satisfy the loss of the 2 strength unit. Slopes, attacking uphill. Defenders doubled, attacking everything across the river, doubled. If there's some guy flanking that's not on the riverside, then you're not doubled. These rivers are impassable. Forests have no effect other than costing 2 movements and a block line of sight for artillery. These rough hexes are 2 movement points each, and they do double the defender. There are no roads, but trails do keep the movement cost down to 1. So normally it's +1 to move up a slope, but if you move up the slope along the trail, it would only cost you 1 point instead of 2. These trail through these rough, will only cost 1 instead of 2, etc. All right, one thing to remember is on these odds combat results table, you may lower your odds as an option. So if you have a 4 or 5 to 1, for example, and you're trying to avoid that exchange result, you could lower it to a 3 to 1, where the worst that can happen to you is attack or retreat. And if you're trying to do a surround attack, surround with zones of control, and kill them off that way, but you don't want to risk exchange. So that is the rules in a nutshell. I've covered it before. There are no night turns in this. Normally in this system, the French move first. However, now we're getting to the exclusive rules. In Marengo, the Austrians get to move first. They have the initiative. They're attacking first. And because the French are all sleepy and sort of surprised, they may only move half movement allowance, which is basically round down because the fraction ain't going to help you. There's no roads with a half movement point cost. And that first turn, not only can they only move, they may not enter a zone of control. If they're in a zone of control, they stay and must attack, but they cannot move into a zone and only move half in the first turn. So the Austrian has to try to make the most of their breakout attempt, be aggressive, and the French has to respond wimpily on the first turn, and then they can perform normally on the second turn. Now, there is a special rule. Starting on turn 9 or later, the French can elect to declare a special counterattack. Okay, they have to time it right, and it only lasts 3 turns. So once they announce it, and what this special counterattack does is they're doubling their strength during their attack for those turns. It doesn't increase their defense. So if the Austrians are counterattacking during the midst of the special French counterattacking, if they're attacking back, they're not doubled, but the French in their turn are doubled. All right, so that is it for the special rules. The victory conditions, we need to talk about victory conditions. We know how important that is after our little goof up with our stat not talking about it. The primary consideration are the geographic locations. Marengo and Pietrobuono, the Austrians want to take those. The French want to stay within 4 hexes of Marengo at the end of the game. They can retreat away, and if they can make it back, they can potentially win. Now, there is an issue with killing points. It's a combination. The French can win if they eliminate 33 strength points or more and have at least 10 strength points within 4 hexes of Marengo at the end of the game. So they have to have at least 10 surviving, 10 or more, that are within 4 hexes of Marengo and have killed 33 points of the Austrians. The Austrians win if they have killed at least 30 points of the French and must occupy both Marengo and Pietrobuono. All right. Now, if neither player eliminates enough strength, they may still win if they have their geographic requirement. And if both players satisfy the geographic requirement, and nobody had done the strength points, it is a tie. So it is possible for the Austrians to have Marengo and Pietrobuono, and the French have 10 strength points within 4 hexes of Marengo. So that is possible. And if no one has killed the 33 and the 30 points, then that would be a draw. All right, so that's it. That's the special rules for this. That's how to play. We're now going to play a turn. I'm going to start and do the Austrians first. And it's a very clogged nightmare here. There's bridges here across this river that's otherwise impassable. There's a bridge here. There's 2 bridges out. That's the only way out and through. So you have to very carefully plan your routes of escape, and you need to be as aggressive as you can, especially the first turn. You know, you can push up as far as you can. You can put yourself in positions where, you know, you don't have to worry about counterattack that very first turn. So I'm going to maneuver all or most of the Austrians first, and we might talk about it, and then we'll look at the French option the first turn, given that they can't attack back. So I'll be back in a sec. All right, the Austrians have moved. It's a total CF here. Cluster flux, yep. They tried their best to move cavalry ahead or artillery or the highest strength infantry units. Some guys like moved back to get out of the way. They're actually going for a very aggressive attack here. These pioneers came out here. They're going to try to get cavalry out, artillery, other things through here. But what they're planning on doing here is this cavalry is going to try to attack at 1 to 2. This infantry is in the town of Petrobona, and they're planning on attacking and trying to advance if they succeed in the 1/3 odds at 1 to 2 to surround this guy. They've got 4 here for a 2 to 1. They succeed here in advancing. They don't have to worry about the French counterattacking with these outside units. This first turn, they're catching them by surprise. So they're going for the chance to kill this guy or maybe at least get into this town. And even if they fail to retreat this guy, if they succeed here, this guy can advance this way, and they'll probably pull back. But, you know, the odds of getting in here are small, but, you know, 1 1/3, it's worth a chance. So we're going to, I need my dice roller. I'm going to overlap in the map a little bit. If they come out far enough, you might be able to see the dice. Single die. So they're going to start with his attack here, 1 to 2. So they need a 1 or a 2 to succeed. They rolled a 4, which fails, so this guy retreats to here. He stays there. They attack a 2 to 1 here. And they do succeed in making him retreat. And they'll go ahead and, well, let's see. They attack there. They're still going to attack. That'll be 6 to 1 odds. Now you're going to go with this guy. I just give them a 2 to 1 here. And they may fail that 2 to 1 odds and have to retreat out. And then the Austrians could march on in there. All right, so that's the Austrian turn. Now I'll do the French turn with their half movement. Now there's a whole bunch of more units up there, so I'll probably move all those first, and then maybe I'll talk through the decision on how to move here and how they want to spread out in that. So back in a sec. All right, so I moved everybody from here up. I did not move this guy here. So we have these decisions. Now this guy, I'm moving 3. So this guy could potentially try to come up this way or this way. He's going to move up 3 to here. Now I can't move next to, but they can. Let's see, this guy can move 2. 1. They got to decide how much they want to come across the river now. They can try to bottle up. If they can get lucky, they can bottle up here and hold it for as many turns again. But once they start to break out, they want to, you know, maybe try to defend this. So I'm going to try to move forward. But let's see, 1, 2, 1. He's going to go across the river and then to here. This guy's going to go this way to try to get here. These cavalry will definitely come over. 1, 2, 3. Can't make it to here. This guy's going to come over this way. Oh boy. This artillery will be at the bridge. I think they might want to go this way too also. All right. So they're trying to anchor here. They're hoping to win this 2 to 1. Whether they advance or not, probably not. because that's just surrounding they don't want to do. But, all right, so let's 6 versus 3, 2 to 1. They roll a 4, they just succeed. This guy's here, the Fremont unit. And they have to decide. No, because 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, if the guy's here, he gets surrounded here and here. Anyone who advances to there. So, no. All right. So that's turn 1. That's all we're going to do in this video. So we did our how to play for Marengo in the Napoleon at War Quad. We discussed the victory conditions. The difference is that the Austrians moved first and the French had their limited first move. The victory conditions are Pietrobono and Marengo and killing 30 points of French. That's the Austrian condition. The French condition is killing 33 points of Austrians, having 10 strength points at the end of the game within 4x's of Marengo. Now, the Austrians, also it's at the end of the game, having occupied and do that. It's not immediately, okay? So that is it for turn 1. We will be back in a subsequent video, and it'll probably just be one video. Maybe we'll make it 2, but we'll do our playthrough within 1 or 2 videos. Ciao, y'all. And remember, take care of your games, and they'll take care of you. Ciao.